Hello, good evening. Hope everyone had a most wonderful weekend. I haven't been here since last week. I had a few things come up Thursday, so I wasn't able to do my live, but all is good. I was off doing a workshop in Abbotsford, BC. Had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Met some amazing people, some amazing, wonderful people. We were able to share and push forward and through some different aspects of past lives. We worked on the burning times, so those were the times of the witches. There was over 9 million people, women mainly, children, put to death because they were healers. And the churches came in and executed them. So much like we've seen in many other races and such. So we touched on our past lives in regards to those healing times when healers were convicted of being witches. Hello, Marvina. Hi, Karen. So it was wonderful. The weather was just wild. I don't think I'd been in a place where the rain came down quite the way it did. So it was interesting because on the last day, as we were winding up, we finished a meditation. All of a sudden, boom, the sun came out and the clock read 3:33. So it was very interesting to see how that all ended up. So in today, I'd like to kind of talk about what motivates you to do the things that need to get done when we're attempting to quit smoking, when we are changing our ways of eating. There's so many different things we do, New Year's resolutions and such. So what is it that you do to help you move forward in your progress? What is it? Do you go all in, do or die situation? That tends to be the way I work things. If I am going to do something, I jump in, bang, right now. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do it. There's no sense pussyfooting around. I don't go about it in a slow manner. It is definitely done in a quick way. So I am curious as to what others are doing in regards to that. Do you jump in with both feet, or are you just slowly moving along piece by piece, trying to work it out? I know some people will give themselves a date that they work towards. And what is it that successful people do? There's so many different things you'll see in regards to motivational speakers and how they get you to move forward in regards to that. So don't let me know what it is you're doing. I'm just sharing out this here. Wait for some more people to join in. Hi, Judy. So there's so many motivational speakers and they give you ideas as to how they go about their day. So there's a huge thing that I notice. We're not sleeping through the night. And I don't find that to be normal anyway, where you can manage to sleep through the night. Most of us tend to wake up and especially as we're growing, as we are ascending and coming more into our power, we tend to wake up. We always used to, during times before we became civilized. So what do you do with those times and those moments that you're awake? So I tend to wake up often between 3 and 5 a.m. I'm awake. So what are you doing with those hours? Are you meditating? Are you laying in bed just getting angry in regards to not sleeping, worrying about that you're not getting the rest that you need to get? What is it that you do in order to do that? There's another thing I've always noticed is people who are immigrating into our country. They're coming from countries where they don't have many things. They don't have the opportunities that we have. And I know people tend to get quite angry and they say they're taking our jobs. Often I find they're taking the jobs that nobody here wants. Hi, Karen. They, they will do absolutely anything it is to succeed and to bring their dreams forward. So what is it that you're doing to create your dreams or to move forward in something like quitting smoking, changing your diet, perhaps creating a business? What is it that you do in order to motivate yourself to move forward? So when I say the word success, what is it that you envision? How do you succeed at these things? What are some of the things I worked in the financial world. So there was many events that we would take part in because of course to try to motivate us into creating sales and such and to excel at our business. Because if we excelled, if we were coming ahead, then of course the company was coming ahead. So spent many hours at different motivational speakers. T. Harv Eker at Millionaire Minds. I participated in many of those. There was just endless lists of ways of motivating. So what is it that you do and how do you bring yourself forward? Hello, Amber. Thanks for joining. Karen, what are some of the things you do? Let's hear what some of you do in order to motivate yourself to come forward. Like now we just finished having our full moon and equinox is coming up. So there's change. This is the 9th month. This is a completion month. And we're going into the 10th month, which is a month where everything is new and fresh. And what are we going to do? And as I was saying, I know a lot of people are trying to do different things, coming out of debt. So what are you doing? How are you motivating yourself to move forward in those ways? It has to do with healing too, of course, bringing forward emotion and such, and perhaps some generational cellular healing that needs to be done in order to move forward. So when we are doing these things, do we jump in, both feet, all in, or is it a slow process, giving yourself a time limit? So wanting to have a nice car, having a great career, finding love, what is it that you're doing in order to move forward in this? Start to gather lots of energy right now as well. So if you're quitting smoking, what is it that you're doing to quit? Are you slowly doing it? Are you still purchasing the cigarettes and having them sit there? I know when my mother quit after 60 years of smoking, she went forward by taking her last cigarette butt, not purchasing any more cigarettes. She took a cigarette butt and she placed it in a bag. So in the baggie was her cigarette butt. And anytime she was having a craving, she would smell the cigarette butt. That was her motivation, having a smell, not purchasing anymore. Her true motivation was health. She knew if she did not step forward in coming to an agreement with herself to quit smoking, she was going to lessen the time she had here. And most of her life, she smoked a menthol cigarette, which I don't know if anybody knows, that tends to be a worse, the menthol actually is much more damaging on the lungs. So her doctor told her, so instead of just changing cigarette brands, she went about by smelling this cigarette butt, and she did, she succeeded. And I never, ever in my lifetime, ever thought I would see my mother not smoke or not drink. So when I quit smoking, same thing. I'm an all-in kind of gal. So I don't even know why I decided on the day, but I chose November 11th, and that's Remembrance Day here in Canada. And it was 2000, I believe, 13, I'm thinking. I'm That's the last time I remember seeing a photo with me, and that was at my daughter's wedding. So within that year, it was deciding what I was going to do. Got to the point where I wasn't becoming very, very good at remembering to buy a package. So it was becoming more easier. I was definitely came into a realization that I was quitting. So what things motivated me definitely helped. So what I was doing, I went cold turkey. So when I was having issues with that, the cravings coming forward. So the cravings can last like 5 minutes at times, up to 20 for some people, I'm told. So what I would do is I would walk around my yard. I would take a walk around my yard and I would drink a lot of water, flushing my system from the nicotine. So that was my way of going forward with quitting smoking. And I haven't had a craving actually probably since the first month. I found it quite easy. I really had my mind set on that I was finished smoking. And my husband still smokes, so it's still around me. I still have that in and around my life, but I have no desire, absolutely no desire. And he always chooses to go into a different area. He goes outside, of course, or into an area where I'm not around. So that is how I handled my smoking. That was one of my motivations. So just like creating a business and coming forward, how do you come forward and how do you push forward in order to do that? What are some of the things that you're doing in order to move yourself in that direction? So like I was saying, waking up at 3 in the morning, I make use of that time. I'm generally awake for about 2 hours. So those 2 hours is where I find I have a lot of vision, a lot of information coming in. When is your brain kick in the most? I tend to do all my paperwork and computer work, banking and such, everything, first thing in the morning, because that's when my brain is kicking in. We all have different times. Some people it's during the evening. If you're a writer, when is it that your brain is kicking in? I know some people will sleep and first thing in the morning they get up, and if you're an auto writer, that's when they're kicking in and doing their auto writing. Their brain is active, it's firing. So at between 3 and 5, while I was starting up my business, when my husband and I, we sell our photography and we do greeting cards and such. So I would be up during that time planning my advertising, figuring out who I was going to be marketing to, and it was during those times that I was most active because that's when my brain is working. So making use of that time when you are going. Hello, Julie. Hi, Gwen. Marilee, thanks for joining. You guys are all so quiet. So what are some of the things you do in order to motivate yourself? And do you go all in or do you slowly pace yourself? How is it that you go about doing the things that you want to succeed at? How do you come forward? How are you making use of your time? So if you're not smoking anymore, perhaps during that time that you would take that cigarette break, because boy, I know I used to have a break. That's when I did my coffee break. Now I find I don't have so many breaks because I'm using that time instead now to do other things, right? So if you're a person who goes out often, instead of going out and visiting and doing those things, perhaps that time is being used now in another manner. So during those coffee breaks, I would find I would be jotting notes. I would be doing something, preparing in regards to getting the business going. So I'm curious, what does everyone else do in order to move themselves forward? Oh, I keep getting a message that internet is kind of sketchy, so let me know if I disappear on you. Same thing when we're working towards how we're working in our healing. During that time in the middle of the night, 3 to 5, whenever you're waking up and you've got that block of time, well, plug yourself into some frequency music or perhaps doing a meditation. Finding that time, making use of that time instead of getting angry that you're awake, bringing that forward so that you're able to move yourself in that forward direction. So getting up in the morning, spending perhaps hours at a time on the internet instead of focusing on the social media of it, perhaps find something to research. I used to do a lot of mind games, practicing to keeping my mind moving and going. Another good thing, reading. If you're waking up at that time, perhaps that's when your mind is firing. That's when your brain's working the best. So reading information so that you're able to put it towards something that you're doing to bring yourself forward. It is key to be making use of your time and also bringing you forward in what it is that you're trying to succeed at. Judy, I'm feeling some energy off of you right now. So there's something you're attempting to conquer. So that's how these gurus and often the 1%, that's how they're working things. They're making use of that time. They're making use of being that all in, making sure you're dedicating your time to those things that you would like to see action and see things moving forward. How to stop certain addictions that we create, right? It's making use of that time so that you're healing and you're putting it forward. Everyone's so quiet. Karan, how do you make use of your time? How do you move yourself forward when you are attempting to either quit a habit or doing something different? Are you an all-in kind of girl, or do you chart out and have a, say, quit date or a beginning date? What are those things that you're following through with? Let's have a chat. You're all so quiet today. Hi, Leanna. So do you procrastinate? Is your procrastination have to do with something there again that you're needing to heal and move forward so that you're able to not procrastinate? Is there something that holds you down? Is there a belief? Is there a mindset? How do you change that mindset to create the success that you're looking for in your life? Why are you not moving forward? What is it that's holding you? Is it just because you're procrastinating and just not moving forward, not having the information, or using time wisely? Time on this side is definitely a big thing. So that's why I always say, when is your brain firing? When is it motivated the most? I have actually 2 times during the day where I find my mind is quite active. So coming in at around 7 o'clock, I get a little firing going on. That's where I'm already starting to think about things for the next day. Or perhaps when you go to bed, that brain doesn't shut off. Have yourself a piece of paper beside the bed so you can jot that down. Then you're not thinking about it all night long. You're able to get some sleep. When you wake up 3 to 5 a.m. or whatever time it is that you're waking up and feeling that you're not getting that rest, that's when you start working on those few things. Then go back to sleep for a little bit. That's what I find. I find it I feel great by doing that. During the winter's starting to come, I find I'm up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm awake. So I get up and I start my day. I have the opportunity, of course, that if I need to rest later on, that I'm able to do that. But I make use of that time. Or going to bed early. I definitely, if I'm waking up between 4:30, I'm going to bed at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I know as a child I died to stay up late. I couldn't wait to stay up late. Now it's quite the opposite. Now I can't wait. Okay, I can go to bed now. So what are you doing with your time so that you're able to move forward, making use of your time so that you're able to succeed at the things that you would like to see happen in your life? So what things are you doing outside and inside so that you're able to succeed at what you would like to see? You guys are just so quiet today. No questions. What is it you need to conquer so that you're able to move forward? Is there something holding you back when you're trying to quit smoking? Or if you're trying to quit drinking, you're trying to change how you eat. What is it that's holding you in that position? Why are you not able to go all in and just get it done? What is it that is needing to be released? And there, my camera just went blinking. Let me know if you guys are still there. Put up a heart or something so that I know that I'm still broadcasting. So there we go. So what traumas could be holding you in place? What emotion could be holding you in place? So what is it that you can do to move forward? I tell you, this thing's acting so strange today. It keeps blinking back and forth. Hello, Tim. Thanks for joining. So if we're looking to change and create a bigger income, I know that seems to be quite the thing right now, is people's income. How are we able to move forward? What can we do to motivate ourselves so that we're able to move in a direction where we are become successful at creating and manifesting what it is we need? So as I was saying, people come from other countries, and notice how motivated they are. They have all these freedoms that they didn't have in their country. And they come to Canada or the United States, and it is the place of opportunity. It is so full of opportunity, and they excel. They create these wonderful businesses that are successful. They become very successful at what they're doing. What is motivating them? How are they making use of that time so that they are able to move forward? What is it that we are staying stuck in our place? What is it that we do not move forward? So same with not quitting smoking. What is it that keeps pulling you? What is that addiction? Is it the addiction? Is it how you are thinking inside? Or is it things that you need to release? What is it that you need to do so that you're able to move ahead? What's going on in that head? Everyone has a different vision as to what success looks like, and what is it that can bring you forward. So not everybody's obviously is wrong in how they're doing things. If you want more money, how are you going to bring that forward? How do you manifest that? How do you make use of your time? How do you stop doing the things that are holding you back? What is it you need to do? How do you motivate yourself? There's This is a time of free education. You are able to go on Google. You're able to go to YouTube. There are so many outlets that show you, and it's free education. We have free education. When I was a child, most of us, when we were children, we didn't have this at our fingertips. So when someone says that they don't know how to do it, you know how to click on, you know how to sign in. So all you need to do is motivate yourself so that you're able to find the information out there in this wonderful world of the web. I mean, there is some bad information out there, but I'm sure you'll be able to find the good information that'll assist you in moving forward. There's no reason for us to be stuck in the position we are. So whether it being healing, trying to figure out how to quit, how to try to create a business, how to move forward, the information is sitting before us, always just a click away. So what do you do and how do you move forward? What's your idea of success? How do you bring yourself into that? So success for me, for quitting smoking, that was by taking a walk, drinking water, do some push-ups, do some exercise, work through the craving and push forward. Saying there's so many different ways. In order to motivate myself in regards to when I changed how I was eating. My motivation, I took all of those foods out of my home. They no longer existed. My husband, he had a little bit of a more harder time because he wasn't at the same place I was. I, being the major cook of the house, kind of took over the kitchen, removed those things. I still purchase things for him like cheeses and things like that, but there's no longer white flour in our house. There's no longer white rice in this house. There are no packaged products in this house. Everything comes homemade, and it's all raw or dry. That is, we still do some freezing of our fruits and vegetables. They still keep their nutritional value. They just lose their frequency. So I really took, when I decided that my health was coming first and that I wanted to move forward in my growth, that this is exactly how I was doing it. As I said, I go all in. I jump in, both feet, do or die. If you don't do this, you're not going to make it. So that's my method. So that's why I'm asking, what methods do you guys use? How do you move forward? Let me know. How come nobody is talking or chatting? Hi, Alejandria. Thanks for joining. Or I'm not seeing any posts other than the happy faces and such, and it's so odd because I've chatted for over a half hour, and normally everybody's talking. So there again, there's all those happy faces and the grumpy face. Whoever keeps giving the grumpy faces, I tell you, I just send you more love every time, you know. It doesn't matter to me that you give grouchy faces. Hi, Alejandria. So are you guys trying to show me that they're not working? Oh my gosh, okay. So they aren't working. You've all been talking to me. I found it. I went to my phone. Thank you, everybody. Okay, you make a list and plan, and that was Caroline. Whoa. It depends on the desire and the times, and it's writing other times. It's grounding in the grass with bare feet. Oh, wonderful. Laying on the grass with your belly button down to the ground. That is a beautiful way as well. Okay. Karen, I don't make plans. I go with feeling. There comes a point where movement will kick in. Okay. Caroline, yes, there's a part of you which needs healing because you can't get it to move on, and you feel it's unconscious part that needs healing. So your subconscious is holding it. Your conscious mind is mind frick. Doesn't the energy feel calming? It does. That's what I noticed. I can't figure out why I wasn't getting any any responses from you guys. I'm seeing everybody join in, but I wasn't seeing any comments. I started panicking. Why is nobody talking? So you have to come back to the yoga practice as that helps. Yes, so there, qigong, things like that. That's another thing I'll do if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll do a qigong. Bring the energy in, and I tell you, the next 2 hours that I sleep, because I usually sleep from 4:30, 5 o'clock till 7, and I tell you, I'm out like a light. And that's when I get a lot of my vision. You think there are things that need to be released? Yes, Stacy, definitely. Nikki, hiya, still here. Yes, can you read what I write? Now I can, Caroline. Jupiter planet is direct, so people can connect to the planet and they want abundance, growth. Yes, definitely. Use the sources around you. Use that energy. So, Stacy, you've been trying to believe and see and already help with your financial situation. You get to roll on doing, but somehow you get stuck again. So there's opportunity knocking. What's distracting you? What holds you from your purpose? What are you allowing to stop? I wasn't getting your input at all, Karen, but I am now. There was a recall on gold medal white flour this week. Okay. E. coli. That doesn't surprise me at all, Gwen. Not only does it auto-correct, my mouth was auto mistaking your name now. So it's wonderful. There, I caught up to a half-hour worth of chatting. How was that? Ta-da! Where there's a will, there's a way. You couldn't sleep 2 nights ago. Yesterday you listened to meditation and it helped you sleep better. Wonderful. You're definitely stuck right now at work. So Gwen, what do you need to do to push that forward? It's difficult when that stickiness happens, but we have to live in that as well. We have to find out and heal what it is that's holding us there. So Julie always says it takes a lot of shit to grow a beautiful garden. So sometimes we have to play in that muck, play in there, figure it out. What is it that's holding us in that spot? So I know in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, I have been doing some major powering, working very hard on dropping some things that I no longer want to be a part of my life. So a lot of that had to do with, there was still some anger. There's still anger. So regardless, we're always still healing. And definitely there was some anger that was hanging on. And my way of eating, I definitely want to go to a more raw, so fresh and dried, not canned or frozen. Would like to really be making sure that I'm getting the frequency, because when we cook things, that decreases the frequency in the food, and I'm feeling that my body needs to up that frequency and have those things going forward. See, and now I have to keep kicking in and switching this. They sure have been I thought using my husband's computer has been working so well, Stacy, and then today, that's what happened. Quit. Gwen. It's difficult to push forward. Yeah, these comments are just playing games. So now I'm using my phone so that I'm able to move this. Okay. So not to get frustrated with Facebook at this moment, not to be angry about it. So we've even had some issues around our community. Our crime rate has gone up. There's a lot of, we have a lot of squatters and such going on. And the community is actually, some people have, instead of assisting each other, there's become some backlash and arguing and fighting in amongst them, which divided we fall, united we stand. And they don't seem to understand that because they're all trying to take control and be the controller instead of working together. So that I've stepped back in regards to that because it was angering me as to how they were behaving. Because the people that are causing the issues right now in there's a lot of theft and such, they need healing. These people are suffering right now. So how are we able to help them, not just push them out of the community? How are we able to help them? You love your job, but hate the mind games that seem to be going on right now. It reminds you of your ex-husband. Okay, so see how that triggers certain things, and then it affects you. So how are you able to step through that? Perhaps there's something that still needs to be also healed in that regard with your ex-husband. Sometimes you just have to not panic and buy into negativity. Yes, sometimes you have to sit through the stuck until evolution through the universe is ready for the next stage. Even physically, you're stuck. You lay down on a dirt road and it's impassable when it rains too much. So true. That is so true. So allowing it to sit in it, perhaps, until that time, the universe will move us forward when it's our time, right? Sometimes we push too hard. That was another thing that I was working on. Instead of pushing hard in order to move it forward, I have to sit back sometimes and just let it be. So that was also something that I had decided that I needed to do. So in there, I write it down. I write it down so that the universe can see it, so that I'm able to show the universe, so that the universe and creator are able to assist me. That way they know what I'm thinking and what's going on. You're back. See, it threw you off. Maybe our energy is pumping something awesome. That's what I'm hoping for. Spring equinox is coming. I cannot wait. I am so very excited. I've been building a sweat. I am now becoming a sweat keeper. And I've been working very hard and diligently. It is all natural. There is absolutely no man-made thing. I'm using burlap. As natural as possible as the route is that I've gone. So I am looking forward to the spring equinox sweat that will be taking place here at my house. So in that as well, I put it forward as to what I was doing. And when I was away for the weekend, and a little bit unexpectedly, my mother-in-law and aunt, my husband's aunt, showed up for a visit. Right now, as you can tell, I don't have the usual hutch that's behind me. My house is in the middle of a reno. We're having the floors done. So the house is totally stripped down, almost like you're moving. I have the floor gentlemen are coming in tomorrow. I had many things that I still was getting ready down for my sweat and stuff. So the visit was at a very inconvenient time, and I was panicked. It was like, oh my gosh, because I couldn't dedicate any time with them. So there again, frustration. All those things that I've been working and still working on were there. It was like, oh my gosh, I didn't have any notice. I should have had better notice. And my husband he also felt kind of displaced, where you get angst happening. So those are some of those things that were going on. And plus, normally when I come home from a workshop, I take at least 2-3 days where it's downtime because of the energy that's expelled during that time. It's important for me to get myself rested and ready to go again. But today it was actually kind of nice. I got up and I went with a friend of mine who was assisting me with the sweat, and we went and got the lava rocks from another friend. And so it was a wonderful way to start the morning. And then I went to Nia. So that's my way of doing my cleansing and my healing, is going to Nia classes, which I talk about often. So sounds like you take it one day at a time, even if it feel like it's at a standstill. So no, like I was saying, normally my time when I get home is quiet. I'm resting and I'm rejuvenating from things that are happening. But unfortunately, that's not what I was able to do. So that's kind of how my days have been going. So they're sitting in that, and now to move forward, bringing it all forward. And I got to catch up again, make sure everybody is on the same page as me. If I'm catching up to the comments, I'm back to the old-fashioned way of doing this. I tell ya, that's how I had to do it with my computer. So hopefully it's just the energy that's doing all this. So yes, I'm looking forward to the opening of my sweat, and a dear friend is coming, and we'll be blessing my sweat with doing the first one, and then look out. We'll be planning them pretty regularly. So that as well, manifesting that, bringing it forward, the work that was required to do, so that I was able to bring that forward. You got engaged today. Oh, you got enraged. You got engaged, Karen. That would have been a good one too, you know. It was so bad, it scared you and the dogs. It seems to me that it showed up so I could see it, make it, release it. Yes, definitely. So you were able at least to find the cause, find what it was that triggered you, so that you're able to move forward. So that's what I find. When it's happening, what triggered me? Is it a mere reflection of myself and somebody else I'm seeing? What is it that made me go there? And if you scared the dogs, that was a lot of yucky energy. So it could have been built up for a while now, Karen. So that's wonderful that you were able to release it. You used to be like that often, and you used to think that people scared of you were chumps. Now you see the exhibit excellent survival skills. Yes, because that's mostly when we lash out like that. That's what that is. We're being that tough warrior, right? And trying to survive. You need to have more patience in your life. Sometimes you feel mad, okay? So, and that's what I'll find. Sometimes you'll be, it's a reflection. I'll be thinking, my husband sometimes, I'll be like, oh, why aren't you doing this? And then I look and think, oh, why aren't you doing the things that you need to do? It has nothing to do with him. Oh, lots of angels just flipping. They got little flyers all over here. Hi, Alexander. So is who is attempting to change what they're doing in their direction of their life, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, perhaps eating better? What is it that you're going to be able to do to motivate yourself to move forward? Are you going to make yourself a plan? Are you going to just jump in and go with it? How are you going to take it and move it forward? DVD player refused to play you. Oh my gosh. So something very minor triggered you today. Hello, Peggy. Thanks for joining. Caroline. Caroline, I'm seeing you need to step into your power. Uh, trust yourself. You're lacking that trust, that faith in yourself, that you're worthy and that you're capable. You're very capable and worthy of doing what you need to do. You have all the tools. You have to just reach inside to that power, ignite that healer within you. The answers are there. Your higher power, just trust it and allow it to be. You've got this. Sandy, asking for prayers and understanding on how to let Stuart do some of his own. Not just some. Stuart has to do all his own healing. As I say when I'm assisting people, I do 1 to 2%. You do the 98 to 99%. Nobody can do the healing for you. It is up to Stuart to have the desire. It is up to Stuart to do the work in order to move forward. You can do whatever you want. You're not helping him. You're actually hindering him because you're not allowing him to sit in what he needs to, and you're not allowing him to live and work through those things, Sandy. So it is very important that you just stand back and allow him to move forward. You still have to eat better. Okay, so one step at a time or jumping in. How are we going to go about that? Are you going to go through your cupboards and just clean it out and give yourself no choice? There's no alternative. Do or die. Or are you going to slowly implement different ways and different things, slowly weed out certain things in your eating styles? See which one you're going to go with. Write it down. Make a plan. Karen, feel like you're at the pause before a complete change of direction. It doesn't make sense yet, but you think it will. So, and that's what I'm actually seeing with you, Karen. It's the 9th month. This is a completion month. So for a lot of you, this is a time where you will be completing so that you're able to move forward. I love October. October is my birth month as well. And it is the month of new beginnings, starting fresh and going for it. So that's what I'm seeing, Karen. It's going to start becoming more clear. I'm going to say probably within a few days. This equinox is going to be another powerful time with energy as well. So if there's some type of way that you bring in the equinox, definitely do that. Bring it out so that the universe sees what you're looking for and what you are waiting for. Does your body like how you're feeding it now? Yeah, I'm still seeing you've got candida that you need to work on, Peggy, because then the body will be able to digest properly and get the substance it needs. There is a book called The Yeast Connection. I suggest you go to the library. It's free. Go to the library, take it out, read it, read it, read it, read it. And then once you've gone through it, you'll end up buying it, I'm sure. I love to have that book on hand. It is full of valuable information. So also definitely that apple cider vinegar will bring it kills off the candida. So that is what I'm seeing. It is liking a cleaner way of eating. Now bring it forward by bringing in some good probiotics into that belly. Alejandria. So here I'm getting needing to make a choice. There's a choice coming forward. There's going to be a switch in what's going on in your world. It's almost employment-wise as well. There's something to move you forward, Alejandria. So having to make a choice. So welcome, Caroline. You have a couple bottles of apple cider vinegar. Awesome. It's a wonderful apple cider vinegar. In fact, the other day I kind of got teased because somebody commented that it is my go-to for absolutely everything. And it kind of is. They were having an issue with fruit flies, and they asked, what do I do to get rid of fruit flies? So I just put apple cider vinegar into a glass, and I'll take sometimes a plastic covering. Often I don't even do that. I just leave the glass exposed sitting on the counter. And they go in there, they get swimming, and I capture them. Some people put soap, and some people add water. I just use the apple cider vinegar. So not only do I ingest it and use it in my cooking, I also use it to capture fruit flies. So yes, it is my go-to. I love apple cider vinegar. Peggy, I am also getting that there's times you're eating something and your stomach is getting quite upset. Almost like a viral, or it's purging. So there's a way that you can help your body in gathering what it is that is upsetting it, and that is with activated charcoal. To just one tablet, it takes like 20 minutes for it to go into the body, and I don't think it's going to take any more than that. And so that your body, it takes out what is the poisoning. It might not be poison, but what is aggravating and really causing issue, it'll remove it from the body. Who is the spirit your sister encountered in the main tonight? I am seeing a great uncle. Gidget is who I'm seeing. From your father's side. He's actually quite frequent with you, with both of you. He's there, he's trying to reach out to both, to guide you. You're trying to contact her husband. Okay. He's there for message. He's there to deliver message. So if the two of you would meditate, or perhaps as you're going to sleep tonight, to call him forward in love and light, ask him what it is that he's trying to get you to see. And in the motel, I'm seeing a lot of spirits in that motel that you're staying at. They frequent in that room and two others that go down the hallway. So definitely call them forward. And if those others are bothering you, ask them to leave. They don't need to be there. So whenever I stay in a hotel, or anyone, wherever I stay anywhere, you can do a method by using a pendulum, and You think of how much energy pillows and the beds hold, correct? So take a pendulum and it'll go into the swirling motions and such, and let it go until it stops and releases all of that. And then once you know that that's clear, then you'll get a much better sleep. Hi, Carla. Thanks for joining. Hi, Saber. So I see we only got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to send out some energy here. Energy for everyone, just to give you a boost for those of you who are trying to work through some things, trying to move forward, like Karen is waiting for the universe to send her. We're going to send some energy. Send some for Gwen, Alejandria. We're going to send it out there for everyone so that you're able to step forward and in your power, and perhaps this will give you a boost. She would love to hear from her husband. So, Gidget, was her husband quite quiet here on Earth? Was he a quiet person who just kind of stood in the background? Because often when they are, other spirits come forward, they're loud, they've got high frequency, they're moving, so they behave the same way as they would when they were here. And if he is quiet, then he tends to stand in the background. But not always are they ready to share. Because right now I'm not getting anything from them. That's good to hear, Stacy. Yes, apple cider vinegar is absolutely fabulous. It really works on so many things. You've got fungus toenails, you have things like that, even on your skin. Put some in your bathtub. You'll be surprised. I put a cup in your bath. Have a soak in that apple cider vinegar. Soak your feet in it. It's going to draw out so many things. You're welcome, Alejandria. I'm thankful I'm able to assist. Okay, so there, Gidget. Yes, he's quiet. So right now I'm not getting a reading. You might not be willing. Sometimes it's hard when, and I know I have people that'll come for a reading and they want to speak to somebody specific. And not always is that spirit, is that person ready to come forward and share that. I know my dad didn't come forward for years and years and years and years and years. And now it's wonderful because I can call upon him quite often. But my dad was. He was very kind hearted. He was very calm and gentle. Yeah, he sang like Harry Belafonte or Dean Martin. So as a child, after my father wasn't around much, I would love to listen to either of those two artists sing. It would just make my heart feel like he was there. There we go. Sending out some energy. And I'm sorry it took me a half an hour to catch on that the comments were not coming through. But I found them. And now I'll know to make sure that when this is going on again, I will click in. And hopefully Facebook one day catches up, fixes some of these little errors, and I didn't get angry. So how are you going to move forward? What's going to motivate you to follow through with what it is that you're looking to do, your purpose, for instance? What are you going to do? Are you going to jump in all in? Or are you going to slowly process it? Or are you going to take little steps? What is it you're going to do to change that? So everybody have a most wonderful night. I will be back Thursday. I'll probably be down in my basement by then as they're working on the flooring. I hope everyone has a great couple days. So decide what you're going to do with those moments when you're awake and can't sleep, or using your time in a more efficient way. And if you're quitting smoking or quitting drinking, what are you going to do to replace those activities? How are you going to change things up to bring you forward? Have a wonderful night and a wonderful couple days, and I will see you on Thursday. Good night.